Okay, Arnold, do I have your document? This is the Taylor default. Okay, Maria, we're ready. Miss Benitez, can you cut on your video? Arnold, go ahead and cut on yours and unmute.
Good morning. This is cause number 2020-74369 in the interest of Cale Taylor. All parties and witnesses, please raise your right hands to be sworn. You solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, I do.
Yes, I do. I'm sorry, it does not let me put my camera off.
All right. Ma'am, please state your name and your relationship to the child.
My name is Jennifer Benitez, and I am Kyle's mother.
And are you on by video, ma'am? Do you have video?
Yes, I have to go to my setting. Give me a second.
Are you there, Miss Benitez? There you are. Okay. Ma'am, please state your name. Please unmute yourself. Please state your name and your relationship to the child.
My name is Jennifer Benitez, and I am Kyle's mother.
All right, and representing the state.
Marcella Turner.
Court will note that the non-custodial parent father is Charles Ronald Taylor Jr. Mr. Taylor was personally served on April 1st, 2021 at 315 North Daniel Street in Carthage, Panola County, Texas. He's not filed an answer. Is that correct, Ms. Turner?
No, he has not, Your Honor.
Made an appearance.
I believe he did, and we sent further notice to him.
Well, I understand, but did he make an appearance at some point?
Your Honor, I'm sorry. I believe he did make an appearance, and as a result, we sent. Oh, I'm sorry, he did not make an appearance.
All right. So he's no answer, and given further notification of Zoom hearing. A certified mail return receipt requested. That was delivered at 11:46 a.m. on June 11th, 2021 in Carthage, Texas. So, and he has not checked in. Is that correct?
That's correct, Your Honor.
We'll proceed by default.
Thank you. At this time, the state would like to call Ms. Benitez. Ms. Benitez, how old is the child before the court today?
He's 1 year and 7 months.
And have you ever been sexually involved with anyone else other than Mr. Taylor?
No.
Were you sexually involved with anyone else other than Mr. Taylor at the time of the child's conception?
No.
And is there any possibility that anyone else could be the father of, is it Kyle Taylor?
Kyle.
Kyle Taylor?
Kyle.
Is there any possibility that anyone else could be the father of this child other than Mr. Taylor Jr.?
No.
And are you currently married?
No.
And have you ever been married?
No.
And are you asking this court to establish that Mr. Taylor Jr. is in fact the biological and legal father of Kyle Taylor?
Yes.
And who does Kyle live with?
He lives with me.
And has he always lived with you?
Yes.
And has Mr. Taylor Jr. been involved in Kyle's life?
No.
Has he ever contacted you just to inquire as to the general welfare of Kyle?
No.
And who makes the day-to-day decisions regarding Kyle?
I do.
And who provides for the needs on a consistent basis for Kyle?
I do.
And has Mr. Taylor Jr. Seen Kyle ever? Or when was the last time he saw the child?
It was actually a year ago when he last saw him.
Okay. And since that time period, he has not contacted you just to see if he could see the child at any time?
No.
And based off of your testimony, is that the reason you're asking this court to name you as the sole managing conservator and Mr. Taylor Jr., the possessory conservator, and to designate you as the conservator who determines the child's primary residence within Harris or any of the surrounding counties?
Yes.
And to your knowledge, does Mr. Taylor Jr. have any other children other than your child? Biological children, that is.
He has 3 other children besides mine.
Do you know whether or not those 3 children live with Mr. Taylor Jr.?
No, they don't live with him.
And to your knowledge, is there a child support obligation for those children?
No. Not that I know of.
And are you asking this court to enter a modified possession and access schedule, which will then revert to the standard possession and access schedule if Mr. Taylor Jr. decides at some point he would like to visit with his child?
Yes.
And you believe that to be in the best interest of your child?
Yes.
And do you have any knowledge as to what Mr. Taylor Jr.'s income is?
No.
And how is this child covered for medical and dental insurance?
He has Medicaid.
And are you asking this court to set a cash medical support amount in the amount of $105 beginning August 1st of 2021?
Yes.
And are you asking this court to order a current child support amount in the amount of $380 beginning August 1st of
Scotch tape.
Yes.
And have you and Mr. Taylor Jr. lived together since Kyle was born?
No.
And has Mr. Taylor Jr. provided financially for Kyle since Kyle's birth?
No.
And to your knowledge, has Mr. Taylor Jr. ever been incarcerated between the time of Kyle's birth up until today's date?
Not that I know of. I don't think so.
And are you asking this court to enter a retroactive child support judgment in the amount of $10,255 as of today's date in order that Mr. Taylor Jr. be ordered to pay $105 on that judgment beginning August 1st of 2021?
Yes.
And you are not seeking retroactive medical or dental support, is that correct?
Correct.
No further questions for this witness. I'll pass the witness.
All right. Call your next witness.
At this time, the state would like to call Mr. Barrera. Mr. Barrera, could you tell the court where you currently work and what your position is at your place of employment?
Office of the Attorney General.
In your position?
Sorry, Child Support Officer.
And Mr. Barrera, how long have you been there at the Office of the Attorney General?
15 years.
And what do your duties entail?
Investigating to calculate retroactive child support and current support.
And have you received special training, and do you continue to receive special training to be able to do that particular job?
Yes, I
duty?
do.
And did you have an opportunity to calculate and investigate what Mr. Taylor Jr.'s income was for the current income, gross monthly income is?
Yes, his current monthly gross income is $2,318.33. After credit for taxes and $105 for health insurance, net income is $1,899.86. His current support should be $380, and that is based on one child with no additional children.
And did you have an opportunity to conduct an investigation regarding Mr. Taylor Jr.'s income during the retroactive time frame beginning at the child's date of birth?
Yes, from November 2019 through today's date, there was different incomes that totaled retroactive amount for those time periods of $10,255, and that should be paid out at $105 a month beginning August 1st, 2021 and monthly thereafter.
And so I know you stated that there was different income during that time period. Could you be a little bit more specific of the different gross monthly income during that time frame?
Yes. Regarding from November 2019 and December 2019, he should have paid for those 2 months $711.
And what was the gross monthly? What was the gross monthly
Sorry.
time frame?
The gross
That's
monthly
okay.
time frame for those months was $4,250.43. And for that was based for the year of 2019. And so it'll be for 2 months.
And for the year of 2020, what was his gross monthly income?
For the gross monthly income of 2020 for the first 6 months of the year was, one second, $3,118.68. And that was for 6 months. Then the next 3 months of the year, he was making gross monthly I'm sorry, give me 1 second to get to my notes. For the next 3 months of the year, he was making $1,295.76, which that was for 3 months of child support at $334. The next 3 months was based on minimum wage of $1,265, and that was $228. Then the retroactive time period from 2021, his gross monthly income was $4,250. I'm sorry. The gross monthly income for 2021 was $3,618.33, and that was for 7 months for 2021. Those amounts total $10,255 for the retroactive period.
Thank you. No further questions for this witness. I'll pass the witness.
Ms. Benitez, do you have any questions of Mr. Barrera?
No.
All right, the court will approve the order as submitted. Thank you very much.
Thank you. May we be